To close out our show tonight, we've got back-to-back interviews done by Shobita Sharma. First up, CBC's funny man, Rick Mercer, then CBC news anchor, Kevin Newman.
Well, on the Mercer Report, I like to go around and visit universities, and I haven't done one this year, and I certainly had heard a lot about Western. A friend of mine was on the student council here last year, and so he's been talking about it, nonstop forever. And I heard about the cheerleading team and, their insane record that they have. And so that's certainly something I wanted to check out. And then I heard about the wind tunnel. I wanted to check that out. And, it's a great school. It's got a great reputation. There's a feeling out there that young people, by and large, don't care about politics that much. But I think that, especially university students, they want to be engaged, and they're certainly engaged, and they follow, and that's why they watch the show. I kind of view my show as an editorial cartoon, and, no one picks up the newspaper, only reads the editorial cartoon, or you don't know what's going on. So you have to have a basis in, reality and a basis in current affairs in order to watch the show, really. And so, it's my experience that people are pretty well engaged.
Are there any politicians who absolutely refuse to be interviewed by you?
Yes.
Can you name any of them?
No. Although, now we've done very well. The show is doing phenomenally well. In the last couple of weeks, we've had the Prime Minister on the show. He gave us an incredible amount of time and access to 24 Sussex Drive. We've had, I went up north with Bob Ray, went skinny dipping in Killarney Park, which is something every Canadian should do at some point in their life. Not necessarily with Bob Ray, but they should do it. And, I have Gerard Kennedy this week. We go to medieval times and get kind of stupid. So, by and large, I have pretty good access at this point.
Has your interactions with politicians changed? Your outlook on them, seeing them on your show?
I'd be lying if I said it didn't change my relationship with politicians. Generally, I'm not friends with very many of them. Certainly, over the years, I've gotten friendly with some of them. But things change. Then my act is different than it was 10 years ago. But by and large, the thing about politicians is, by and large, if you're going to be successful at all, you have to be a fairly likable person. Otherwise, you just won't get on the ballot, and you certainly won't convince people on the doorstep in 1 minute to vote for you. So they're all generally personable enough, and some of them are faking. So you have to tune into that pretty quick. But we don't really tell them what we're going to ask them, and we don't really pull any punches. And that's the relationship that's the part of the relationship that hasn't changed.
So what keeps you going?
Well, I have the best job that I could possibly imagine right now, which is pretty phenomenal. I think everyone wants to end up doing a job that they like, and that's a tall order to begin with. But if you get to do a job that you like and also lets you travel, which is kind of my passion, then you're away at the races. So every single day I'm thankful that I have this great job, because I get to go to northern Manitoba and hang out with polar bears. I get to go to 24 Sussex Drive. I get to go into Demolition Derby. I get to come here and be a cheerleader. I get to basically do all these things that by and large people would love to do if given the chance.
Well, they always had journalism programs, but it seems like because journalism is morphing into so many different avenues, whether it's YouTube or the web or blogging, it seems like universities are responding to that it's not just journalism now, it is media, and there are things that happen that aren't just strictly journalistic in the new world order, and I think that's reflective of what's happening. When I look at what's happening even to television news, it's fragmenting. You can download us on an iPod, you can YouTube us, you can do all kinds of things, and there are issues that universities should be examining as to what that means for the journalistic process. And I think that's what media studies is trying to attract. Anything you can have to have a competitive advantage is worth it. I think the experience of volunteering at something like TV Western or CHRW or the Gazette is as valuable, but you want to have as much in your arsenal as you can, because you're going out and competing against people that will have degrees. So I always tell people now, the degree won't get you the job, the program won't get you the job. In fact, what you might volunteer doing at places like TV Western are more likely to get you the job. But it's good to have that degree, because someone else that you're competing against will have it anyway. When CHRW started 25 years ago, when I was involved, it was like a little signal that went to Saugeen Maitland, and that was it. And you could sort of tune it on your radio at the time. But one of the things I've taken the most pleasure in doing is accessing CHRW as it grows. I used to live in New York, and I used to stream it from my home in New York, and I used to go, this is freaking awesome. Like here I am in New York listening to this little station that I used to be able to listen to through a wire in my res at Saugeen-Maitland. So I've taken a great deal of pride watching what's happened. And now that, there's TV Western and the Gazette is, a daily publication, it's thriving and it's vibrant, and I'm very proud to have been part of the beginning of that.